It's the devil's favorite poison, and we fall for it every damn time. He's one of Marvel's most beloved characters, and even after that soft reboot, we're still talking about a possible third part. In fact, the rumors now are louder than ever, and Johnny Blaze is ready to once again show us the true meaning of hell. So stay with me until the end, as I have some really exciting news to share with you.
Who sent you to find me? Is it the devil? The devil that walks among men?
All the faults of the previous movie brought this huge delay and a gap of a whole decade without Marvel's favorite character. Anyway, there's been renewed interest in bringing Johnny back after the rights to the vengeful, demonic character reverted to Marvel. Now that the studio is expanding its roster of classic comic book characters, it's only a matter of time before Ghost Rider will appear at some point in the multiverse saga. The backstory of the character is unbelievable, especially if we take in mind that it began over 20,000 years ago. It all started when the Blood, who were in a war against a soul-stealing demon named Zarathos, allied themselves with the original spirits of vengeance. The Blood had to create the mystical medallion of power in order to win the war, but a portion of Zarathos became trapped in this medallion. This all led the Blood to think that the artifact was too powerful to be kept in one piece. So the medallion was broken into and kept into the spiritual bloodlines of two families, while at the same time it was protected and overseen by a Blood named Caretaker. This all lasted until young noble Kale, who was of the spiritual bloodline, fell in love with Magdalena. So around the 1700s, Noble was hiding his romance since he was afraid of the reaction from his fire and brimstone pastor father. Soon after, Magdalena bore him a child, but Pastor Kale wasn't happy with that, so he branded her a witch and burned her at the stake. As she was dying there, she cursed Pastor Kale and invoked the ancient spirits, the legendary Furies, to seek vengeance in her name. As he sought aid from the demon Mephisto, Pastor Kale offered Noble's soul as payment. Mephisto recognized the medallion and transformed the young man into a Ghost Rider, a living spirit of vengeance.
I want you to listen very closely.
Anyway, we know that once we mention Ghost Rider, the first thing that comes to mind isn't this backstory, right? I mean, of course, it's Nick Cage's Johnny Blaze on a bike, right? And with that romanticism that the character originally invokes, that makes the character stand apart from his peers. Johnny Blaze is self-assured and self-confident, and he differentiates from the other superheroes who are usually repressed and then have a eureka moment that makes them be in tune with their identification of strength. In fact, that's not the only thing that makes him different, especially compared to the superheroes in recent times. These characters lately are hitting that like button just like you should do if you haven't done so already. No, really, these characters lately are portrayed not just as models of who a superhero should be, but as real-life human beings with ordinary life. Ghost Rider, on the other hand, was probably the only one to shed this goody-goody image and put the spotlight on the character's truth. Ghost Rider first appeared in a six-gun hero saving the day in the Old West back in 1967. It was a creation of Gary Friedrich and Roy Thomas, but the comic never made it past issue 7.
I know why you're helping us. She says you want to get rid of it.
But only 5 years later, the character was lucky enough to make its first appearance in Marvel's spotlight in the comic as well as the movies. In exchange for the devil to save his stepdad, Johnny trades his soul and becomes a bounty hunter. But in comparison to what made it to the screen, the Ghost Rider comics were fairly absurd. Although we can say that in both mediums, the character had a certain amount of depth and gravitas to him, Ghost Rider has changed a lot over the years. And with that, it only became more relatable for audiences of all age.
Moreau said the rider was an angel that went crazy.
Now that we speak about the possible third movie, you probably ask, why do we have such a long delay? The answer is simple: Ghost Rider 2 made all this happen. The movie's poor critical reception couldn't be ignored. Even though I think that Ghost Rider performed well, Sony saw the value of making a follow-up that is not in the same style as the original. The story implied that the original movie didn't happen, but this kinetic style, one-note characters, and the threadbare story did little to impress. Maybe it was released at the wrong time, only a year before Marvel entered MCU Phase 2, and we know that MCU began planting the seeds for long-term storytelling, releasing content simply incomparable with the Ghost Rider.
But I promised Danny he'd be safe. And if I walk away now, I'm just trading one demon for another.
Okay, but where's the idea of a new movie coming from? You all remember that interview with Keanu Reeves on Johnny Kimmel, right? Action superstar and beloved actor has his heart set on joining the MCU's Ghost Rider, the flaming skull sporting avenging angel. Asked if he wants to play a Marvel character, he said, 10-year-old me would want to. I think he'd probably want to be Ghost Rider. You have to admit, this is something that we've been crying out for a long time. I mean, who would be a better fit for Ghost Rider than the star of John Wick, Constantine, and The Matrix, and most of all, a man who's a real-life lover of all things motorcycle? Could we ask for more? Reeve himself confirmed that he's going to have meetings with the studio saying, "We haven't yet, we have met and Kevin Feige is a cool cat. Yeah, but no, we don't have anything, gotta find something." This news was confirmed by Feige as well. "We talk to him for almost every film we make. We talk to Keanu Reeves about, I don't know when, if or ever he'll join the MCU. But we very much want to figure out the right way to do it." The reason why I put the focus on Reeves is that Nicolas Cage already rejected any possibility of his return as Johnny Blaze. Ghost Rider was a movie that should have always been an R-rated movie. David Goyer had a brilliant script, which I wanted to do with David, and for whatever reason, they just didn't let us make the movie. That movie is still a movie that should be made, not with me obviously, but it should be an R-rated movie, said the actor.
Why does the devil walk on Earth in human form anyway? I have no idea.
Since there is no official information about the possible cast list or the release date, the only thing we could speak about right now is the plot. The third movie would probably be a prequel to the first two movies. The Dawn of Darkness will be a real character story, telling us how Johnny Blaze smashed that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. No, really, it would probably be a story about him becoming a Ghost Rider. The long-forgotten evil will rise from the shadows and it will show up on a distant and unknown continent. It won't have boundaries and it'll take over the Earth. This evil will destroy everything that appears in its path. In the meantime, a mysterious group of warriors joins the survivors and they have one last chance to save the world. It'll be hard for the heroes to stand in their way. Furthermore, there will be a new team of heroes to assist the Ghost Rider, said the unofficial movie synopsis. Marvel didn't have an interest in making another movie after The Spirits of Vengeance was released. Considering the reviews, that was understandable, but now the circumstances have changed and it seemed like they have this project on the roadmap. Even Nick Cage is open for a cameo in MCU Phase 6, and that might as well happen on Avengers Secret Wars, which is set to be released in 2026. This speculation is actually suggesting an appearance of both Gabriel Luna's Robbie Reyes and Cage's Johnny Blaze. That sounds like something that the fans would love to see. Either way, whatever the plot may be, or whoever the lead may be, I just hope that we'll hear more official information soon. Until then, we have enough material to tie up with. What about you? What do you think should take the burden of Johnny Blaze this time? Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.